What's going on, guys? My name's Josh and I'm back today with another Scream video. First, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's recently subscribed to my channel. I've got a ton of new recent subscribers, and also I want to say thank you to everyone who's been subscribed to my channel since the very beginning. I just appreciate all of your support, and yeah, I wouldn't be making Scream videos if it wasn't for you guys. I love, all the comments and just all the support and interactions we have. Now, one thing I will say is I have been holding out on you guys because I actually have a story for you. I've met the cast of Scream. I met, Neve Campbell, Skeet Ulrich, and Matthew Lillard in 2015 at the Spooky Empire convention. So today I wanted to go do a story time and share that story with you. So you better watch out because it's time to get this video started. Let's go. So, in 2015, there was a convention that I saw online for Spooky Empire, and I was so excited because the main reason I went is I saw Neve Campbell was going to be at this convention, and up until then, I think she did one convention before then, but she wasn't known, to me anyways, as doing conventions, so once she started to do these horror movie conventions, I was so excited. So, as soon as I saw that, I booked the ticket right away. It was held in Florida, in Orlando, and I was like, okay, I'm in, I'm going. Especially on top of that, besides Neve Campbell, there was a ton of other people, going to that, Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, just them alone, I would go even if it was just those three. But then on top of them, you had the cast of the Willy Wonka, the original Willy Wonka, all those actors, and just Danny Trejo, Tony Todd, Candyman, just a ton of different, horror movie stars. So I was in. I was so excited. So I got a ticket and I went to Spooky Empire. So the ticket I ended up getting was a VIP ticket, which was really cheap as well because it was only $200, and that got me into the event all 3 days. And what was really cool about it is that very first Friday, the Friday the event started, with the VIP ticket, you could get into the event an hour early before the general public. So I got the VIP ticket and I was in line right away, and I got into the event an hour early. And it was so cool because once I got in, my nerves were all like, I was so nervous because, I love the Screamcast. As you can tell, as many videos as I make. But I love Neve Campbell. I've always had it, someone I've always really, really wanted to meet. And so the chance to get in there early and see her in person, I was just so excited. So I get into the event. And it's crazy because there's not that many people in there. And the event it just started, but it really didn't start. Like, as you can see in this picture behind me, Neve Campbell was literally right behind me talking to Skeet Ulrich and Rachel True. I also think, the guy, I think his name's an actor named Michael. I think he was in the movie Warlock. They were all just, sitting behind me talking, and I was taking selfies, not trying to be obvious and take pictures of them. I was trying to take a selfie, but still get a picture with them. But anyways, they're like literally talking behind me, and I'm so nervous because I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they're so close to me. So I go up to Neve Campbell. So the event finally does start. I go up to, Neve Campbell, and I pretty much talk to someone who's working for her and be like, oh, I'm taking a picture with her. I just want to say hi. And the guy, talked to Neve Campbell, and you're like, yeah, that's fine. So I go up to Neve Campbell, and here's my moment. The moment I've been waiting for pretty much my whole life. Ever since, just forever. And I'm like, Neve Campbell, I am your biggest fan. And I totally blew it, you guys. Because one, she gave me her full attention. She was so nice. And just, no one else was around. So she's just like, oh, thank you so much. And literally, I just froze. I got so nervous. And I'm like, I'm your biggest fan. And then walked away. What is wrong with me? I have no clue. I still don't have any clue. You never know how you're going to react in those kind of situations. But, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. So I pretty much blew that. So then I go over to, Skeet Ulrich's table, and I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, I went up to him and I said hi. And I'm like, oh, I'm one of your biggest fans. And then he's like giving me his full attention, and I just say that, and then I walk away. It just was crazy to me because that moment, especially with Neve Campbell, that was my moment to actually have a conversation with her. And, and I'm originally from Niagara Falls, New York, but I grew, I have a lot of family in Canada and in Ontario, and that's where Neve Campbell's from. I could easily talk to her about Ontario, just so many other things. All the stuff I love that she's done. I love Party of Five. I love Scream. I could talk about any one of those things. And just, I totally blew it. So They both were super nice, but I was just so like high on emotions that, yeah, like I said, I blew it. So the next we go up to, it goes the next day, and now I have a picture, a group picture with, Neve Campbell, Matthew Lillard, and Skeet Ulrich. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna, take a picture with them. I'm in line. I get up to take a picture with them, and this is where my nerves were all over the place, and there's three of them and then me, and then you're supposed to stand in the green line, and that's where I'm supposed to stand. But I didn't want to stand on the green line because I wanted to stand in between Skeet Ulrich and Neve Campbell. That's who I wanted to be in between. So then we kind of get up there, and if I would have stayed on the green line, I think Matthew Lillard would have been next to me, I love Matthew Lillard, but I wanted to specifically stand between those two. So I kind of got up there, and I'm like, I'm not standing on that green line. And Neve Campbell kind of just looked at me like, okay, you don't have to stand there. So then I stood between them. I took the picture, but I was so nervous that I kind of just put my hands up like this. And Matthew Lillard made a joke on me, but it was he's hilarious, by the way, you guys, in person. He he doesn't know where to put his hands. And then we all busted out laughing, all four of us started laughing. They take the picture, I leave, and as I'm leaving, they bring me back in, the workers bring me back in, and they're like, we need to do a redo picture because you were all laughing. So I go back up there, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm back. And they're like, oh, what happened? I was like, we were all laughing too much in that picture. And Neve Campbell was like, oh yeah, I could see that. So we take the picture again. And then Matthew Lillard slaps me on the back and is like, we'll see you again in 5 minutes. It just was really cool. That was a really cool interaction where I got to interact with all three of them. But like I said, I was nervous. But it was really cool. And here is that picture. Now, next up, there was actually what was it? A convention, or they were doing a talking. So pretty much there was a screen panel at the event, so you could kind of go up there. So I get in line, I'm kind of right up in front to the side, and it gets to the part where it's a Q&A. So you can kind of go up there and ask questions. And this is where I feel like, not that I've already embarrassed myself already, but this is where I feel like I really embarrassed myself. So I've been ready to ask a screen question for years, and my question I wanted to ask was, pretty much, this was way before, we were getting Scream 5. I never thought we were going to get a Scream 5 back then. I thought Scream 4 was it. That was the ending, and we're never going to know what happened with these characters. So, in the ending of Scream 4, on one of the deleted scenes, there's a scene with Gale Weathers and Sidney Prescott talking about, maybe we should write a book together. So that was gonna kind of be not even my question, but my statement was to, I went up there, got in line, and I was like, in the deleted scenes of Scream 4, they were talking about writing a book, Sidney and Gale. I think it'd be really cool if the writers actually made a book from Sidney and Gale's perspective, and then we kind of get the characters' happy endings. Because in horror movies, we don't see the characters' happy endings. And I wasn't really even a question. It was just this big, long statement. It took me forever to get there. And Neve Campbell, she's so witty and just so funny that she just replied back. She's like, I'll get right on it. And everyone started laughing. But then I started embarrassing myself because I just could not stop talking. I kept trying to explain myself. And then they were trying to take the mic away from me. Matthew Lillard was the one who was controlling the mic or whatever, and he was trying to take the mic away from me. And it wasn't that embarrassing. I just wouldn't stop talking. It was nothing really that embarrassing, but to me it was mortifying. And he's like, that's called fan fiction 101. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I kind of just okay, asked my question and left. But one thing I did learn, if you ever go to any of those panels, the questions you need to ask you need to be just a quick question. Just a quick question, get it out there, because so many other people have questions as well. You can't take up your time and have your, just big, it just doesn't work that way. So that would be my advice is you have a question, just ask a simple question, and then you got to move on. But that was my first time going to any kind of panel like that, and like I said, I'm a huge Scream fan, and I've been waiting to get that out, that I wanted a book from Sidney and Gale's perspective. But overall, even that part was really cool, as far as the panel. And if you even search Spooky Panel, I think 2015, someone recorded the whole thing, so it's all on there. And if you were to go in there long enough, you would see me in there asking my question. Like I said, though, it was pretty embarrassing. Now I'm okay with it. But overall, I would say this was such a cool convention. One, it was crazy because all the stars were staying at the hotel, and I stayed at the hotel as well. So in just not even the screencast, just some of the other people, you would see them just kind of walking through the hotel. So that was crazy. Oh, and one other thing I didn't mention was there was actually a party on the Saturday night that was supposed to be like a party. If you had the gold, or if you bought the VIP, you could go to this party and all the stars would be there. Now the thing was, the stars would show up there, but they didn't have to stay there. So they could literally walk in one door and walk the other, and that's what a lot of them did. So I did not get to see, you know, Neve Campbell at the party. She was already gone by the time I got there. But I did get a picture with Matthew Lillard at the event. So that was kind of cool. And I talked to some other people as well at the event. But overall, it was fun. And just a couple pictures I just wanted to share with you guys. It was crazy because when I was walking in the hallway, I saw a picture of Tony Todd. I saw Tony Todd walking in the hallway, walking right by me. So Candyman literally walking right by me. That was really cool. I also, who else? Danny Trejo, I saw him at that big party at the Saturday night party. And then at one of the tables, I saw the picture of Rusty Geoff, and he's the original actor who played Oompa Loompa. He's the actor who played the Oompa Loompa. And I saw him, and he actually smiled, and he took a picture, which was really cool. One thing I will say, though, not everyone is cool as that. Some people, the way it kind of works with these, some people are cool if you take pictures. Other people, if you try to take a picture with them and you're not buying anything, they get mad at you. So that is one thing that you can't really go in there just taking pictures of everyone, like, openly, because people will get mad at you. It's something I learned. I never knew. This was my really first time going to any of these. But overall, I had a blast at, this, and I definitely want to do this again. Like I said, I embarrassed myself. I could have really got to know, or at least made an impression with the Screamcast, especially with Neve Campbell. I had the perfect moment to really have a conversation with her, and I completely blew it. But my hope is to go back, and next time there's a convention, I'm going, and I'm going to meet her again. And I know they won't recognize me at all because they meet thousands of people. Plus, I look a lot different now than I did then. But either way, it was a great time. And I do encourage everyone, if you ever see one of those events, go to it. It's awesome. And yeah, that was my story time. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching.